So hi guys, welcome to Entirety YouTube channel. I'm your host Yashraj Jaiswal, and today you will learn how you can automate your Zerodha login process. Okay, this will help you guys in basically automating the complete Zerodha algorithmic trading process, as well as in a lot of your Python and other codes as well. So let's begin. So first of all, we need to import a few libraries, okay, like Selenium. Okay, from Selenium we'll basically import WebDriver in order to control the web browser. Okay, so from Selenium we'll import WebDriver. Okay, the next a module named options from Selenium WebDriver. Okay, it is basically meant to manipulate the Chrome driver window. So from Selenium .webdriver .chrome .options. Okay, import options. The next one would be a sleep kind of module from the Selenium. Okay, so we'll import basically from Selenium .webdriver .support UI import WebDriver wait. So this module is basically meant to sleep or wait until the element we want to load appears on the web driver window. Okay, so next one is the from Selenium .webdriver .support import expected conditions. Okay, so expected conditions is basically what is that condition for what we want to wait. Okay, the above one is WebDriver wait. Okay, so what is that condition that we want to wait for would be fetched here. The next one would be from selenium.webdriver.common.by import by. Okay, so this module is basically meant to locate. Okay, so basically locate this expected condition by some kind of, you can say, by XPath, by attribute or something like that. Okay, now import the Kite Connect module from the Kite Connect library. Okay, so from Kite Connect import Kite Connect. Okay, and also import sleep from time import sleep. Okay, and our basic pandas as PD. Okay, so all these libraries we'll basically need. Okay, so the Kite Connect library is basically is a library for Zerodha. Okay, now let's just import the credentials. Okay, so the first of all what we need is the API key. Okay, API underscore key. I'll copy my down here. Okay, the next one would be the API secret we want, and a few other like user ID, password and everything. So the other three would be the user ID, account, username, the account password, the account 2FA. So basically this is all the credentials required for logging into a Zerodha account. Let's just initialize 111. Okay, this should be an integer. Okay, and of 6 digits. Okay, so these are the credentials. I'll replace mine here so that we can basically log in. So now let's create a Kite Connect instance. Okay, so Kite Connect of API key equal to the API key. So this is meant for establishing the connection between the Kite Connect and our Python notebook. Okay, so now let's get the URL. Okay, so the Kite on the page at we will log in. Okay, So kite dot login URL. So login URL equal to kite dot login URL. Now let's set the driver. So the driver is basically an instance which we'll use to basically control our Chrome driver. Here the executable path equals to user. So this will basically initiate a driver. Now let's just get the URL. Okay, so driver dot get of URL. Okay, so this will basically open the kite page on our WebDriver window. So let's see. Yeah, so now what we want is to fill in this form, okay, using our Selenium. So one way is basically we can simply do this inspect and get path. Okay, so if we just click on this inspect, and we can simply use copy X, but that is not a reliable way to actually go for long term. Okay, so the solution to this is basically setting up our relative XPath. Okay, so what is relative XPath? Okay, so if we suppose copy this and get the full XPath, what does it look like? Okay, so this is basically kind of a hierarchy in which user ID input is set up. Okay, so what we can simply do is since this is the absolute path and this is not reliable, suppose tomorrow the developer from the kite.zerodha.com changes something on this basically web page, okay, or the login page. So what we will end up with basically some issue in our code. Okay, so we then will again be required to basically set this code up again. So what we can do is simply use the relative path from the beginning. Okay, so there is a method to actually write the relative path. Okay, so the relative path consists of the tag name, the attribute. So tag name basically is the tags that we use in the HTML. Okay, so for example div, the var, title, or table, li for list. Yeah, that's it. And attribute is basically class, controls, content, date, time, etc. Okay, the attribute, okay, and its value. Okay, so its value, basically this is the format. Okay, so now what we'll do is basically hover over the so let's search for the first of all login forms, these attributes. Okay, attributes, tag name and the value. Okay, so let's search that. Okay, so this is the login form and let's inspect this. So here the class is basically, no, this don't we require the, okay, so this is basically the login form. Okay, login form, this basically consists of the tag name here is the div, the attribute is the class, and the value here is the login form. Okay, so we'll just simply copy this, copy element. Okay, and let's just paste it over here. Now the tag name is basically the div, the class name or the attribute is basically the class, and the value is the login form. Okay, so now we have just located the basically login form. Okay, now what we want is to simply locate this using Selenium. Okay, so let's do it. So we'll use simply WebDriver wait. Okay, actually currently we are waiting and manually doing. Okay, so wait until the visibility of basically the elements of the element located and where the element is located. Okay, so we want this basically the login form to be visible. Okay, so by dot xpath this element. Okay, so it is now able to locate the this basically the form window. Okay, this user ID, password and all. Okay, so now let's just assign a variable to it. The next task of ours is to basically get this user ID and the password. So in this basically form part, what the procedure is basically, the first basically the this element. Okay, so the this line basically what will this do is simply let me show you. This will open the WebDriver window. Okay, yeah, so this will open the WebDriver window. this will basically open the URL we just got from Kite. Okay, so has now opened. So we'll now run the WebDriver wait. Okay, so that once the this login form is visible, then only our credentials are entered. Okay, so let's just run this. It will wait actually till the form is located. Let's just search for this user ID is XPath. Okay, so let's inspect this, the user ID we want. Okay, so the user ID is basically, yeah, so we have just now located the user ID. Okay, so we'll simply copy the element. Okay, so we'll just copy the element from this and we'll search the same way we did for the above form part. Okay, so here we'll basically search for ID. Okay, so ID is basically the user ID. We can also basically use this type since the class is not there, we can use this type attribute. Okay, let's just create the element. Okay, or let's just create that, and we can search for input. Okay, the class name is basically, or the attribute is basically the type. Okay, and equals to, now we have to search this element. Okay, by XPath. Okay, so let's just do this. Driver dot find element by XPath of this one dot send keys. Okay, so what keys do we have to send? Simple, the credentials part. Okay, so send keys of the account username. Okay, so if we can see, the username has just appeared over here. We'll do the same for the password part. Okay, so if we just search over here, we can find the password placeholder in the same format as well. The input, the type, text and password. Okay, these two are the same, almost same. Okay, the text and the password is different only. Okay, so we can simply copy this part and we can enter input. Okay, the type is simply password. Okay, and we have to send the account password. Okay, so let's just do this. So as you can see, the user ID is also filled and the password is also filled. Now our next job is to simply click on this login button. Okay, so we'll simply locate this first of all. Okay, so the type is button. Okay, and so basically the tag name is button, the attribute is type, and let's just copy this first of all. Copy this element. Okay, so let's just create driver dot find element by XPath of input button with @type equal to submit. This complete this portion. Okay, this is converted into a format like this. Okay, so let me show you again. Basically the tag name. Okay, this is actually the standard format. Okay, so attribute for actually the XPath. Okay, attribute equal to value. Okay, so driver dot find element by XPath of submit. Okay, we have just found that, and we'll click on that. Okay, so let's remove this first of all. Okay, and just now just hit now just hit submit. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is basically the account ID. Okay, now it is asking for the pin. Okay, we'll do the same process for this pin as well. Okay, now we have got the type password placeholder pin. Okay, so we'll simply copy this element. Okay, and just paste it here like that. Okay, but one thing, so we did wait for that login form to appear. Okay, so we have to again wait for this login form to appear. Okay, so we'll simply repeat that step here again, and now what we'll do is simply locate that XPath with 2FA. Okay, so driver dot find element by XPath of that that XPath let's create. Okay, the tag name is basically the input. Okay, the type is the attribute. Okay, and the value is simply the password. Okay, dot send keys. What we need to send? We need to simply send the keys, or basically the password. Okay, or whatever we can send over there. Okay, account 2FA. Okay, as soon as we'll click this, it will send the 2FA over there. Okay, as you can see, the 2FA is filled. Our next job is to simply click on that continue button. Okay, to completely log in. Okay, so let's just click on continue button. So for that, let's just inspect that button in the same way, and let's just paste the element. Now driver dot find element by XPath. Okay, and use the simply the tag name, which is button, the type, which is basically the submit. Okay, this is basically same as above. Okay, so let's just copy this. Okay, so now let's just hit submit button. Okay, so as you can see, it is showing the session data is to null, error type token exception. Okay, so there might be an issue. Actually we took too much time to basically do this. Okay, so let's just run this again once. Okay, so let's just close the driver window to again start the process. Okay, so let's just hit enter and the driver window will close. Okay, now just a second, let me show you. Let's just combine all these cells first of all. Okay, now let's just repeat the process again. Okay, driver, just instantiate the driver, then get the URL. Okay, now repeat the process. It is saying pin not entered. Okay, so we have to basically wait for that form to appear. Okay, so we can simply do sleep. Okay, so it is now saying okay, session is already there. Okay, so let's just close that one, driver dot close. Okay, now let's just reinitiate this. So as you can now see, we have just received the request token in the URL above. Okay, so our login is basically successful and we have just got the request token in the URL above. Okay, so actually I posted the redirect URL as the 127.0.0.1. okay, you can use your website as well. Okay, so we now need to fetch this URL. Okay, so for that we can simply do is driver dot current URL. Okay, so guys, one thing I would like to remind you is, see, if you guys are facing any internet trouble or trouble in basically loading this submit password or whatever field, okay, just try using this sleep. Okay, if you simply lag this a bit, okay, if you simply lag this a bit, there won't be any issue, okay, but your basically process would be friction free, okay. So now let's just get the current URL. Current URL is basically the this current URL we are seeing, okay. So let's check. Let's just assign a variable to it, current URL, okay, equal to this, okay. So now let's just print current URL, okay. So this is the current URL, okay. So now what we want is simply this part, request token, okay. So one thing, okay, so it won't be feasible again and again to actually use this WebDriver window, okay, to visualize this process, okay. This we can simply eliminate this GUI version, okay, by using simply this we can simply use this option. So now let's create an object for the options class, okay. So options basically module, okay. So let's just do that, option dot basically add argument, okay, of hyphen headless, okay. So this is basically meant to actually disable the UI, okay, or the user interface, okay. So there is one supporting module, okay, in the name of basically the disable GPU, okay, disable GPU, okay, for Windows actually, but it is okay, okay, we can run this anywhere, okay. So if we just run this, the next time the WebDriver won't be visible in the graphical version, okay. So guys, I have just restarted the kernel and let's just run this, okay. So we have received the current URL, okay. Now what we have to do is we have to simply pass the current URL, okay. So our current URL looks like this, okay, this time, okay. So this consists of the request token and everything. So out of this we simply want this this part, okay. So we can do it either manually or simply use a splitter to split from the space and or the equal and the, okay, and or the and, okay. Or what we can do is we can use the URL pass library, okay. So let's just import that, okay. So import URL lib dot pass as URL parse, okay. Now simply call the URL parse method, URL parse out of that, and pass the current URL, okay. So as you guys can now see, the request token is this, okay, it is separated, okay. So we can simply assign a variable to this passed URL, okay. Okay, now we can fetch the request token out of this, okay. So for that there is one more basically module, okay, in the name of passQS, okay. So passQS of passed URL, okay, and in the passed URL we have this query, okay. So from this query we will basically extract this part, okay. So basically this part, okay. So dot query, okay, or we can simply say, okay. So and out of this we want this request token, okay. So this is our dictionary format, okay. We can just get the request token out of this request token, okay. And out of this request token we want this first element, okay. So of 0, so this is our request token, okay. So now our next task is to simply uh, create a session, okay, in order to basically get the access token. Okay, so kite.generate session of request token equals to request token and the API secret, which is the, so you can simply do the shift and tab, okay, to get the this docstring kind of thing. Okay, so API secret. Okay, so let's just do this. So guys, we want this access token from this complete basically text. Okay, so this dictionary or JSON. Okay, so we'll simply use this access token. Okay, so it is saying token is invalid or has expired. Okay, so we need to actually assign a variable before we rerun this. Okay, so access token. Okay, so let's just rerun kernel restart and all. Okay, so we have got the access token. Now we need to set the access token to basically set up a connection. Okay, kite dot set access token. Okay, so the access token is set. Okay, now let's just check the profile. Okay, kite dot profile. So as you guys can now see, all the details from that profile has just appeared. Okay, so now just simply we can get the LTP. Okay, so kite.ltp. Okay, we can use the exchange. Okay, so the basically the instruments. Okay, let's just try. So for example, NSC INV. Okay, so we can simply do this. So yeah, we have got the Infosys last token price, or last traded price, and the instrument token. Okay, so guys, that's it. In the next video you will learn how you can simply make a screener out of the Zerodha's historical data. Okay, so we'll basically get these historical data from the Zerodha's historical API. Okay, and using that we'll create a screener of our own. Okay, we'll suppose for example, let's just take simple moving average 50. Okay, if a stock closes above the 50 moving average, so that should come as the screened stock in our Telegram. Okay, that's it guys, and thank you for your love and support, and do like, comment, share and subscribe. And whenever you message, okay, in the Telegram, suppose you have any kind of requests or any demand for a video, just use hashtag request, and in the next line just write down, make a video on such thing, such and such, or help me with this or something like that. Okay, and thank you everyone.